Warning. This program is intended for adults of legal drinking age. Whiskey is consumed and discussed. The intent is to educate our palates on the differences of whiskey flavors and not an intent to get drunk. Please drink responsibly.
Hi, everybody. Come on into our parlor. This is I Fucking Love Whiskey. I'm Andrew Pierce, your co-host, and I fucking love whiskey. And may I introduce my co-host here, Mr. Joseph Limbaugh.
Joseph Limbaugh. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate the introduction. Welcome to our parlor, and I just want to say that I to our parlor and love whiskey.
Nice.
I do, and we have a guest here today.
Oh, we do.
Yeah,
I'm here, guys,
yeah.
and I'm happy to be here.
That's awesome.
I'm Paul Major, and you know, I also really fucking love whiskey. So
What are the odds?
funny, we all have that in common.
Yeah.
What
So
about
it's
you
a
at home?
coincidence.
Do you fucking love whiskey?
Do you?
You people? Let us know in the chat.
Let us know in the chat.
It's right
I
over
know
there.
this guy does.
Oh yeah.
What is two thumbs and fucking love whiskey? Yeah.
It's
You know what? What is six thumbs and fucking love whiskey? It's us. It's us.
yeah, it really is, guys.
So Paul came by my house this last week to pick up his whiskey, and he was like, "Why are you doing this? This doesn't make any sense. This show doesn't make any sense." And I was like, "We drink whiskey and we talk about it. It makes
I mean, in the best way.
I understand where you were coming from. I get it. But, anyways, we drink whiskey and we talk about it, and we talk, and that's pretty much the show.
we do, gentlemen. I'm here for it.
Well, let's.
And we're happy to have you. We're happy to have you, Paul.
I'm absolutely
you.
happy to have you, and I'm happy to
Thank
have Alex. Alex Kahn is our guest tech, because our usual tech, Thad, is off getting married.
Getting married.
Oh,
He fucking loves getting married.
Loves getting married. He loves his wife, soon to be wife. Here's our first one. This is a Balvenie Week of Peat. It's a 14-year-old peated Balvenie. They don't usually do peat, but once a week they do, and then they age it for 14.
Wait, they do once a week? Hold on, I don't think I've heard this before.
Once a week.
What is this?
1 week a year. Sorry, 1 week a year they do.
All right.
They do a peated whiskey.
1 week a year they do a peated whiskey. So this is their peated whiskey. I've never had this. Is this just like a standard whiskey you can buy somewhere, or is it really hard to get? What's the deal?
I mean, K&L has it in occasionally when it comes in. That's where I got this.
Interesting. As I like Balvenie, but you know.
So let's see how this goes.
hey, I got a little fuzzy there, guys. I guess I've been having a few too many.
Kind of early for you to be this blurry.
I know.
Paul's no longer our guest. It's now
Yeah. I'm just
It's now
like
the
Boca
pictures in
in
his
the
background.
background. Yeah.
There are some disadvantages to having a fancy camera up there.
That there are. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Wow.
Mm.
What a gentle peat that is. That's like a peat made out of like fuzzy feathers or something.
Mm-hmm.
What a
Do I
gentle,
get a little
friendly
bit?
peat.
I almost feel like there's a little vanilla in there for me.
Uh-huh.
No,
Maybe.
there's that smoke in there at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could smell some vanilla. A
I-
little bit of campfire.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a down comforter factory after a fire.
Definitely there's fabric. Like this definitely makes me smell fabric. Like that's my first
Yep.
thing is like fabric, like a laundromat, or you know, that freshly,
Mm.
fresh out of the dryer. Oh wow. Or a Bed Bath and Beyond with a campfire burning in the middle of it.
Yep. You're roasting pillows.
Roasting
Campfire.
pillows.
Yeah, the main thing is the fire. Everything's just on fire. Lovely, lovely fire.
All right.
I'm going in. I gotta
Yep.
It's
I'm going
it.
in.
Let's try it.
Subtle. Oh, the peat comes in the finish. Wow.
Yeah. Little bite
right
on
at
the end.
finish. Big time. But at the beginning, it's so gentle.
Yeah. It's like when someone hugs you and then
Yeah.
they slap you on the back really hard, you know? At the end, they're like, damn, I love you. And like smack. And like, whoa.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a little two-faced, but you're not unhappy about either side.
No. Yeah, and in fact, once I actually am allowed to hug people again, they can do whatever they want for a limited amount of time.
Yeah, this is consenting.
It is, yeah.
Paul, Bodie Cooper in the chat wants to know if that's autofocus or you have to focus it manually.
So this camera is an autofocus, and Whisky Cam is a manual focus.
Ian actually was the only other person on the show so far that's had the Whisky Cam, so you're just upping him. Is it a 4K camera on your Whisky Cam? Did you say that?
Yeah, I've got, yeah. Well, guy, look, I can't see the chat right now, but I will say to the audience, these guys are awesome, and they provided this wonderful opportunity to try these amazing whiskeys. I just wanted to make sure I did right by them and, had a proper setup to honor what we are trying tonight.
Wow. I feel like we really have to raise the bar.
Our expectations of our guests are very low.
Hey guys, can I ask you guys a question?
Of course.
Can you remember the first time you had Scotch whiskey, and what was your impression of it then?
I mean, for me, it was Lafroig. I probably had it before then, but that was the one that I first was like, man, this stuff is special. Like that was when I was like, I really liked it. It was standard like 10-year Lafroig. Someone was like, you should try some Lafroig. And I was like, all right. And and then for a long time, that's what I drank.
So it was like love at first sight for you, and you were in after that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I remember the first time I loved drinking whiskey, but I can tell you my first experience with whiskey was splitting a bottle of Cutty Sark, a 40 of Cutty Sark with Bruce McCullough, and going to, I think, the Pointed Sticks, a punk band in Calgary. I then went and passed out on the couch in the student union or the student newspaper office and slept there overnight. That was my first experience with Scotch.
Hold on, I have to fish this name out of my whiskey that you dropped in here.
Oh, sorry. I'm just telling you my history. That's what happened. That was what we did. So Bruce introduced me to Scotch, and then it got better from there. And my first Lagavulin was where I kind of just like, what liquid can taste like this? And so that was
I remember when I first had Lagavulin. That was, look, I'll tell the audience. I told you guys already in email. I want a campfire in my mouth. That is my. You can't go too hard for me on that level. So like the Balvenie that we've just had is amazing for me. This is already one of my favorite scotches.
But the Lago,
your favorite whiskey? Did you just say it was your favorite whiskey, Paul?
Is this your favorite whiskey, Paul?
Well, it might.
You can say it. This is a safe place for saying that.
No, it's close. It's close. It's a very good whiskey.
Like the alert went up. It's your favorite.
It already went up. Well, no, it's somebody's favorite whiskey somewhere in the world.
It definitely is.
Somewhere in the world, it's favorite whiskey o'clock.
It's very good. I'm committed to honesty with this experiment, gentlemen. I will only say it if I believe it.
We appreciate that. Verisimilitude is really important. No, I do feel like this house is a linen factory. It's like, fresh linens, clean. Yeah. And there's a campfire inside of it. Yeah. Or a wood stove or,
on the palate, I get, it's like a really weak lemonade, maybe.
Yeah. There's definitely a bit of citrus in there.
But none of the peat is there. It's just so amazing that as soon as you swallow, the finish is the peat. Like that's where it came. It didn't really present too much in the nose, but it's in the finish.
I'm putting a little bit more in here because I'm assuming we're going to science, and I'm kind of.
All right. It is Bodie Cooper's favorite whiskey at home. So we.
Oh, wow.
I am going to do a bit. It's very good. The way it starts versus how it finishes is pretty extreme for me with what I normally drink.
Yeah.
But not in a way that I don't like. Are we sciencing now? I'm going to science.
Journey. Well, I'm going to science it, but science. This is a journey. This is like
This is a journey.
Yeah.
You're in the store. You go to the kitchen. You get some of that weak lemonade, and then you sit down by the fire and enjoy it. There we go. The science complete.
Oh. I get more of like a wood smell, I think, in the nose. Like almost like a cedar or like sawdust kind of a.
I caught cedar for sure.
Yeah.
It's a bit more subtle, but I like it. It's different.
Forward.
Alex, are you enjoying the whiskey too?
I am. I really love peated whiskey.
Yeah.
So this might be my favorite of the day as well. Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Yeah, on the nose initially, I felt like it felt like walking into a Home Depot. You know,
Yeah.
it was like the smell of wood, but like organized, cut wood.
Yeah.
Smell of organized.
You know what it smells. It's different than unorganized wood. You know that smell.
The taste with the water to me is more. There's like a pine. Like I feel like I bit into like a pine tree.
I think I prefer the nose with the water, but the initial taste without the water.
I think I would agree with you. Although I do like this taste, it is very different.
Yeah.
Like it's quite. It really it's more harsh and like I said, it's like it reminds me of like a pine forest. The taste of it.
Something goes
More citrus for sure.
yeah, more sour in the palate on this.
Yeah.
And that sourness actually lasts into the finish. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still there.
So interesting. Once again, very different.
Paul, this is what I mean what we mean when we say do science is because that's just one drop of water and this whiskey changed.
It's very different.
Right?
Yes, very different.
Here's my rant. This is when I see people putting ice cubes in whiskey. I'm like, whoa,
Hit it.
what are you doing, dude? You
Right.
take it without the water first, and then you can put it in if you like it. Fine.
But what if they're just madmen? What if they're that extreme?
Well, I mean, that's a way to prove it. That's what I'm saying.
That is.
That's a way to-
Also, like, if you're a mad scientist, what do you get? You get Frankensteins, and Frankensteins are not what we want, right? And when I say that, I mean specifically the scientist. You get more of the scientist, not the monster, because I know the monster was not called Frankenstein. So don't come out.
Joseph, quick recovery, Joseph.
Not a recovery. I went exactly where I meant to. Mad science.
Because
means more
wherever
mad
you go,
science.
that's where-
Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that.
Oh man, is it already time to go into the next whiskey?
Almost. But this is my favorite whiskey. I'm going to say it.
It is really good.
So far today.
Really good.
It is always
Really
nice
good.
to have a different sort of peated whiskey because it's like I love peated whiskeys, and I'm always in the Lafroig and the Ardbeg and the what else, Lagavulin, but this is a different. It's like a whole different. That's like a whole different category of peated whiskey, which is great to have. I mean, it's because it's what
Right. So I believe this is peated in Inverness, where they kind of peat from around Inverness, which does have a different flavor than the Isla peat. And Bruichladdich uses this as well when they do the Port Charlottes or then the Rocktamores. They use that peat.
Yeah. Port Charlotte is the other one that I really love. The other peated whiskey, probably my favorite one right now. I think of like my standard drinking whiskey is Port Charlotte.
I think I was just exposed to Bruichladdich like maybe a couple of years ago, pretty new for me. And there was a salesperson here in LA, like making the rounds at the bars, like getting that blue bottle, getting the laddie on the shelves.
Classic laddie.
Yeah.
Classic laddie is one of
That's right.
Andrew's
Yeah, there it is.
favorites.
Yeah, the laddie's great.
It's just so good. Well, okay, so there's a subtle peat. I have a feeling that this Caol Ila we're going to next. Seaside picnic.
A seaside picnic.
There it
A
is.
seaside
Oh,
picnic.
Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, I love you so much.
344.
Look at that. It's obviously not. I don't think they probably didn't color this at all because it's so pale.
12 years old.
Which is great, but-
So if you have a blended whiskey and there's a little bit of peat in it, it's probably from Caol Ila. This is the peated component of almost every whiskey is the Caol Ila.
It's when you switch between cameras.
Yeah, it doesn't like the switchy. It's fine.
There you go. Caol Ila, baby. So this is going to be more of what you're expecting with peat. This is your Isla peat. This is seaweedy,
man.
iodine-y.
But this nose
said-
is
As soon as you said seaweed, that's what I smelled when I sniffed it.
I didn't mean to-
this to me is like a candy shop whiskey. Like it just is very subtle, but that's the place where I would put it. Just but now I'm getting a bit of that brine in the end. Now
Yep.
that I've gone in again.
I was picking up I'm a salt fiend anyway. I don't know what it is in my
This is
genetics.
like saltwater taffy.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, the clumps of kelp washed up on the beach.
Yeah.
But also there's like
Some meat.
there's like a carnival nearby with like some sort of like, you know, sweet carnival foods being cooked.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so briny.
It's hard for me to get past the brine. I get a lot. For me, I'm picking up the brine quite a lot.
Oh,
That's
should
not a
we
bad
answer-
thing.
Should we answer one of the questions from your quiz?
Yeah, we can. You want to pick away at it, ladies and gentlemen? I present to you Quizkey. We have some fun little multiple choice question and answers for everybody. And some might be hard questions, some might be easy. But let's do our first one, folks.
Before you do, though, I want to ask.
Yes.
Joseph, I think Paul's put more work into the show than we ever do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like after this point, we should just have him do the show and we should not show up.
Well, if you guys like this, maybe I'll come back if you'll have me, and we'll do some more Quizkey. We'll see how it goes. Folks, at what temperature will the average whiskey freeze? I have worded this carefully, and I am
wow,
assuming...
that's really tricky. Look, that's like a trick question. There's a lot of
Yeah,
Celsius and Fahrenheits in there.
Yeah, so the average whiskey, and this is assuming a normal commercial freezer. What temperature will the average whiskey freeze? Think about it.
Why should the freezer matter? It's the temperature that matters.
You're absolutely right, actually. Well,
in your face. I'm going to take that as a win on that question.
Well, because one of those answers is related to that. That's what made me think of it.
I see.
Wow. So go ahead, people in chat. We'll let you chime in first.
Yeah.
Yeah. No Googling allowed, please.
Yes, please don't Google. In fact, if you get it right, we're going to think less of you. Picture in picture too. Paul, you're killing us here.
With kindness.
Oh, I see. So that is this. Okay. At first, when I read that, I thought it was a range.
I'm just doing like Celsius Fahrenheit conversions.
Right.
I don't know why.
Conversions.
I don't
know
know
it's
why.
smart. It's for the people across the pond.
Yeah.
Yep.
Average whiskey, Bodhi says, would be 80 proof. That I would say would be the average, since most of the whiskey produced is watered down to 40% before bottling.
Oh my God, I just tasted this. And I just want to say, this is my favorite whiskey.
Oh
my God. That is so salty. That is deliciously salty. That is like a salt lick of whiskey. Oh, that's so good.
Okay, I'm going to...
I just want to say, I'm like a deer. Like if you ever wanted to trap me, you could just put out a salt block and I'd be lured to it and that would be it. And this is my favorite whiskey.
I think like this is the saltiest whiskey I've ever tasted. It's amazing.
This is the
how
saltiest
salty
whiskey I've ever tasted.
Like
easily.
I fucking love whiskey. I fucking love it. Oh my God.
This I've never had a whiskey like this easily. It's easily unique for me.
Is this like pulled pork? Is that what I'm getting? Like a salty pulled pork?
Yeah, I could taste that. Yeah. This is a seaside picnic. In every sense of the word.
Yeah, aptly named for sure.
Oh, Paul, can you move your face up to a different corner? Is that possible to do?
You know what?
Right now your name is covering your face. So
Look at it. Just like...
No, to an upper corner.
Corner?
Or just like because the bottom is a band. The bottom is a band and it covers your face. So yeah. Right now.
No, Paul, where you're drowning. He's drowning.
Hold on, Jack.
Just put it over the ice cubes and you'll be good.
Chill out, man. Chill out.
Just chill out. How do we feel? Should we give the answer?
Well,
people guessed.
Woody Cooper has some empirical evidence here too. So he's put 40% alcohol in his freezer, which did not freeze. And I've done the same thing. So he says it gets slushy at about minus 17 Celsius. That's his guess, and I think that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I would say the coldest one would be my guess because alcohol definitely has
minus
a lower,
27, or
it definitely has a lower. Well, it's both. That's the same number. The lowest one.
No, he's picking 17 Celsius.
I see. I would pick D, I think.
Right. If you pick D and it starts freezing at minus 15, you're still right because it does freeze at that temperature. So
that's a fair bit of strategy there.
That would be my guess. Like,
holy cow, this is good.
It is really good. It is really, really good.
it's kind of blowing my mind a little bit. It really is very unique for what I've had before.
This definitely, like, if this was like a house, it's definitely a house on the seaside, and maybe even like, I don't know, maybe it's not a house, maybe it's like you're camping, you slept overnight on the beach, and then you woke up and it's like you realize that you fell asleep next to that delicious pulled pork sandwich that you got at like a place that makes the best pulled pork sandwiches in the world, and you're like, oh, I didn't finish this, and you wake up on the beach and you're like, you just eat the sandwich as you watch the sunrise. That is the house that I would build in this whiskey.
Joseph, you it's like you are a storyteller or something. It's so, I don't know.
I just like to build houses in whiskey. That's what I do on the show. That's my role.
All right, Paul.
Very well.
Kept us in suspense long
Drum
enough.
roll. Okay.
What's the answer?
So the official answer of when it will like fully freeze, when it will freeze is minus 27 degrees Celsius. It will get slushy before that, but it will not actually freeze over until you're that low, which is not as low as the typical commercial freezer will go, which is minus 18, which is why that reminded me of that.
I see.
So you will not be able to freeze average whiskey in your freezer. Not
which is why people put booze in their freezer all the time, and it just cools off.
I bought a bottle of vodka in there to be cold. Absolutely. So this would not freeze at that temperature though, because this is 56.3%. So you would have to go lower, I think.
Yeah. And
your freezer whiskey is safe.
And don't put your whiskey in the freezer. Don't put that though.
Vodka, go do whatever.
Go ahead.
Bourbon,
anything else?
Bourbon's garbage, so put that in there too. Doesn't matter.
I was waiting for a hot take about bourbon.
And there was. Although technically whiskey, it is garbage. So. Although we do technically fucking love it, even so.
Mm-hmm.
There are some really delightful bourbons.
There's some great bourbons. It's like, yeah.
Every time I go into it,
the finish.
Every time I go into it, it's like surprising and delicious. It makes my mouth water. Oh my God, that's good.
Is this something we science? Do we science this?
We can.
Y'all go ahead. I ain't gonna. I'm gonna wait for someone else to do it.
You've got like a full bottle over there, Andrew.
Whatever.
All right. I owe it to the people.
Oh, you're gonna make the guests science it, you monster.
Okay, no, don't do it, Paul. I'll do it.
No, it's fine. Here we are.
No.
No? Oh, you did it already?
Let Andrew do it first and see what he says.
All right. See what he does.
He's got a whole bottle.
I'm just trying to get it set.
I'm in suspense over here.
It might be delightful. I'm gonna guess it probably does not improve it. That's gonna be my guess. That's gonna be my guess.
It's that same seaside here, but you're when you wake up, you realize you were wearing a wool sweater, and that is wet. It's got the wet wool sweater in it. So I don't know if that's an improvement.
Doesn't seem like an improvement.
It's not terrible, but it's not.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it will necessarily make it worse, but I don't think it'll necessarily make it better. That'd be my guess.
Okay, going in for the taste.
There's a whole story happening on his face, Joseph.
I know.
I'm trying to identify what that is. The taste. Now that's interesting. Something like this happened. I'm dancing about tasting whiskey.
Whiskey cloud.
Little interpretive whiskey dance.
Something more savory came out. You know what?
We should try it. It sounds interesting. We should try it.
Here we go.
He doesn't hate it. And that's the only thing I care about. Like, I definitely want to try something different, but I don't want to ruin this awesome whiskey.
Ooh. My poor camera.
Oh, wow.
Lamp.
There's more salt in the nose, I think.
Yeah.
A lot more salt in the nose. It smells more like I'm smelling the brine off of the ocean now. Wow. Holy shirt balls.
This drink is just salt. I love it.
Man, I fucking love whiskey. Man, I fucking love it. And I'm really excited to hear what the tasting notes that they've written for this.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to read that afterwards. You know what? I should look it up online, too, to make sure I've got the full notes here.
I mean,
Whoa.
it is so aptly named. It is a seaside picnic. That is what's going on.
I do not hate that.
Did you? Yeah. So you got more in the.
Yeah. I don't hate it.
Much,
I
much
don't,
stronger nose.
Like, I think it's fine either way, but good either way.
Yeah. Woohoo! Guys, this is so exciting.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
Paul, we have 2 more whiskeys to taste.
I fucking love whiskey because I mean this. Okay, so this is Caol Ila. I think I know what I'm going to get when I go to Caol Ila. I think I'm going to get like a tire fire. This is not that. This is something different. And there's flavors in here that I've not had in whiskey before, which is always the exciting part. Is every time we go to these things.
Yeah.
All right, here's the tasting notes from SMWS,
Mm-hmm.
and I always do it in some sort of accent. So I apologize for this in advance. This subtle nose starts with biscuity notes, jammy dodgers, blackcurrant tart, cafe noir. Then brine intrudes. Oh, yes, it does. Rock pools, barnacles on a yacht, a seaside picnic, wood embers and damp tweed. The palate is a sweet, salty, citric combo. Citric combo. Sweet barley, green apple, lobster claws, tequila shots, licorice, and aniseed. The finish is charred oak and smoke. The reduced nose has Atlantic breezes, ruffling marmon grass, seashells, Pernod on oysters, Klotz-foot rock, hospitals and candied angelica and citrus peel. The palate now suggests tar, linseed oil, honey, and sugar-coated fennel seeds with nutmeg, licorice, burnt sticks, and peat smoke numbing and tingling the finish.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good write-up, I think. I mean, they usually are pretty good, but
I mean that feels
that's a good one.
That feels bang on. That is.
Yeah.
I feel like we hit a lot of that stuff too. You know?
Yeah, Joseph, you picked up on like the sweet candy aspect, like the jammy dodger aspect. You picked up on that right away in that first nose.
I start to have my own categories for scotches, and like sometimes I smell one and right away I'm like, this is a candy store scotch, and that one seemed like a candy store. But it was interesting because it immediately shifted into something else. Like it's a shapeshifter. This scotch is a changeling.
It is a changeling.
Oh man.
Guys, should I intrude with a new question?
Yeah, sure. Bring it on.
Bring it on. Here we go. Folks, which inventor believed that drinking whiskey every day would have led to him to live to 150 years old? Oh, was it Thomas Edison, Count Ferdinand von Zeppelin, Nikola Tesla, or Charles Streit?
Who's Charles Streit?
Yeah, what did Charles Streit make?
So we have multi-inventor Thomas Edison, the inventor for whom the Zeppelin gets its namesake, Count Ferdinand. We have
Thomas Edison and thief. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And we have multi-inventor and thieved upon Nikola Tesla. And then we have the inventor of the pop-up toaster, Charles Streit.
Well, I don't know that quote, so I'm going to go with Charles Streit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with Ferdinand von Zeppelin, just because. Well, Edison, I think, didn't drink. I believe he was a teetotaler. I think Tesla seems like he's too smart to have thought something so stupid. Charles Streit just seems boring. He doesn't seem like someone who'd have such an interesting belief. So I'm going to go with Count Ferdinand von Zeppelin. I'm assuming the inventor of the blimp.
My counterpoint on that is Count Ferdinand von Zeppelin being, I'm guessing, Bavarian or German, would have gone with beer instead of whiskey.
Oh, okay. Just wouldn't have gone for a whiskey.
And that was a consideration. Charles Streit does sound like someone who's of like Scottish descent. But yeah, I'm going to stick with Ferdinand von Zeppelin, I think.
All right, I'm going to go straight. In the chat, Ian is picking Tesla.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's a weirdo.
Okay.
Because he's a weirdo.
Well, that's a pretty good reason. Do we have any other takers, or shall we reveal?
Not untrue. Yeah.
Here we go. It is Tesla.
Tesla.
Boom, Ian nailed it.
Tesla believed that
he was a weirdo.
He was a weirdo. He lived through Prohibition, which prevented him from drinking his whiskey because he was teetotaler when Prohibition was happening. And he complained later that he would have lived to 150 if he had just been allowed to drink whiskey. He felt that coffee and tea were much more deleterious to your health than whiskey, and refused those substances, but loved his whiskey.
Well,
fucking loved
he's
whiskey,
a smart
in fact.
man because I fucking love whiskey, and I think he's right.
I fucking love Tesla.
I fucking love Tesla too.
Hey, alternating current, clearly the way to go.
Clearly the way to go. Edison, you piece
Edison,
of
you M or F-er, you S of a B.
he's on the they did a Tesla Edison Doctor Who just recently on the with the female lead Doctor Who.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Doctor Who, yeah.
Kind of gets into some of this some of the crazy stuff Tesla believed.
Mhm.
Yeah, but also did amazing things too. Whiskey number 3. Okay, so don't finish your entire whiskey here because number 3 and number 4 are both from Aberlour. One is the Habunadh, and the other one, which is all in sherry butts from Aberlour, and the final one is a single cask bourbon cask from Aberlour. And I think there might be an opportunity to taste them side by side because they're both in the same percentage range, like one's 56 and one's 59. I think we can make it.
Ooh, 3D whiskey, 3D whiskey.
Yeah, 59.9 and 59.4. So I think in that range we can try them both. Now we're going from peat to non-peat, but the fact is we're going up 3 points in alcohol percentage, ABV. So I think this is going to be a fair fight.
And by not finish it, you mean don't, like, we could leave a little in our bottles and pour it back in if we want to.
Yeah, and because I think tasting them side by each, I think is a.
So are we going to taste them and then science them? Like,
yeah, and then we can come back at the very end to do a side by each comparison.
Copy that.
And I'm trying to make side by each happen. Everybody, make it happen. It's a thing.
it's streets ahead. No, what I'm saying.
Oh, sorry, I got my nose in it already.
Oh yeah, this is a candy store whiskey, but this is like almost like too much a candy store whiskey. Like it's like a vat of caramel.
I was about to say maple almost, but that's
yes, and
it
the
smells
wood
like maple
came
syrup.
through. Yeah, the wood came through the maple. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely maple syrup. Spanish Oloroso cherry butts.
he said butts. Sorry, I fucking love whiskey.
I'm obsessed with
Fucking
this
love
right
butts.
now. I'm loving this
Cherry
nose.
You cannot lie. Yeah, this is oh boy.
That nose is amazing. Like I can say right now, this is my favorite whiskey just based on the nose because I would just smell this forever.
We keep coming to these whiskeys where we could just sit there and sniff it for.
Where's the bottle? I don't remember seeing the bottle, or maybe I was holding my glass up at the time.
Maybe I didn't put it up there. Aberlour,
yeah.
batch 64. Maybe I didn't put it up.
Beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Habunadh,
Habunadh.
which means something, and I'm sure Ian is going to look that up and put it in the chat.
Yeah, Ian will look it up for sure.
I should remember, but I don't.
I just kind of want to keep smelling it.
Yeah,
you can.
I mean, this is.
Is tasting going to be a disappointment now? Because now the expectation is so high.
You know what?
I kind of want to nose the next one before I taste this and just nose them side by side. You know, like I kind of want to do that.
I think. I mean, the sherry is obviously coming through in this. Like we're getting the candy store, the sweetness.
And this is the peated one, or the other one's the peated one?
Neither are peated. Neither of these last two are peated.
Oh, right.
So we started peated. We're going non-peated now.
So what's the difference between these two?
Well, these are sherry butts that are vatted together, and this is the final one is just a single refill hogshead. And the nose here is really subtle. It's
more subtle, yeah. On the second one or the last one.
I'm still on this first one.
We're nosing ahead.
I'm gonna nose ahead myself.
Yeah, I think I like the nose on the third one more than the last one.
Well, there's more nose to like, clearly.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's quite a different nose, that last one for me.
Yeah, it's a little less accessible.
I would almost, for me, it hits me a little bit like vinegar hits me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does have a bit of sourness in it.
Yeah.
The other sweeter.
Once we have a few sips of the final one, I think things will change with the nose. We'll probably get more out of it.
Oh, it has like it has a nice savory quality to it in there.
Yeah.
Hey, gents, for those of us typing up the notes on the nose, what whiskey are you drinking right now?
We're on the Habunadh batch 64. You got it right there. But we're nosing ahead. We're nosing the final whiskey just to see, because they're both from Aberlour. These ones are sherry butts, and the other one is a single refill.
And we've tasted neither.
I'm back to the third because it's like
Yeah.
it's a cozy, like weighted blanket that I'm just draping myself in right now.
It's
That's
so
how
good.
it feels.
We should taste it.
Yes, astronaut butts. Yes. He said,
Yeah, like delicious baked dough. Like I don't know, some sort of like really savory but yet sweet baked delight. Like a shortbread, but like not a super sweet shortbread. Something that's like buttery and has a bit of sweetness to it. You know,
buttery, but with like some berries on top of it. It's a
okay,
like a
scone, like a
berries.
scone. Yeah.
Yes. So nice. Oh boy.
I'm gonna taste this. I'm gonna go ahead and taste it.
I'm going for okay.
Favorite whiskey? Oh, are you going to the final one? That looks like the final one.
Ooh.
Joseph?
Woo.
What? Yeah,
Oh, okay.
this is the Habunadh.
It just looked really light.
Yeah. Oh, that is.
I think
There's
that's
some pure butane fire on the back end of that for me in a way that I enjoy.
if it's that light, Joseph, I think you're having the Habunadh Matata, which is confusing because the names are very similar.
I put them in order by percentage.
Yes, and I messed up because I put the Habunadh before the Habunadh Matata. So we're back on the sherry butts right now.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is so embarrassing.
Sorry, Joseph. I know this is my fault. You're right. I think we're off by like a percentage point.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
wait, we're doing the just the regular Habunadh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sherry
All right.
butt one. Yeah.
It's very interesting on the back end. It's sterilizing my cheeks while I'm.
Well, then flip flop all of the things that I said about the two, because
But I'm getting a scone, and I mean they're both from Aberlour. There may be similar things in their distillation process that come through, whether it's sherry butt or ex bourbon.
yeah, this as I said is more savory to me than the final one. It's got like a sour edge to it.
I still feel like I've steered you wrong or something, because your both your whiskeys look very light. So maybe
I did a light.
No, this is darker. This is darker.
Oh, it's darker. Okay.
I did a light pour.
I just have a little
on
bit,
mine.
and it's in the Black Arts glass, not a Glencairn, so it's spread out a bit more, so it doesn't look as dark.
Yeah, mine's the dark stuff. It's just
Refraction.
My God.
It's really good though. These are both my favorite whiskeys. I'll go ahead and say it. Like having tasted both of them, they're both amazing.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
think
just
it's
love the nose on this so much.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I
It's
could
so
see
rich,
it,
and
and
there's like so much to it, and it's so comforting and comfortable.
See now I'm like I can't with like I like the nose on the last one better.
Do you?
Oh, like yeah, for sure. Yeah. Although they're both amazing. If I had to rank them. Yeah,
One's
there's just a little bit more going on in there. It might be because I wonder if I should put this into a Glencairn glass. I wonder because this is a Black Arts glass if it's changing my nosing.
The Brooklyn is attacking it.
Science.
Are you gonna science? I'll science, friend. I'll follow you down.
No. I'm cleaning out my glass. I'm not sciencing yet.
Oh, you're not sciencing.
I'm just making sure this glass is ready. I'm gonna move this into a Glencairn glass. That's the science. Is you have to have the same glass for both, because it has the Black Arts glass is a wider neck, and it's got the tertiary angle of the percentage, creating a certain tiflum firminigus and a burning.
Oh, you got another question?
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Before you ask it, I don't know if I told you this. I fucking love whiskey.
I might have heard it, but I'm happy to hear it again
Just check.
because I know you guys fucking love whiskey.
All right, your question.
Here we go.
Whiskey
The
time.
wording on this is important. What year were Scottish distilleries legalized by the United Kingdom?
Oh, this is easy. I know this. The answer is I fucking love whiskey.
You know what? Spoiler alert, there is no answer on this quiz that says I fucking love whiskey because I knew one of you was going to say it as an answer.
Well, the funny thing is, the last one is not available. Like the people can't see it because it's underneath your name.
Oh, that's true. Yes. Yes.
Oh no!
But it's 1831 is that one. The year Scottish distilleries were legalized by the
United Kingdom.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a tricky one.
Yeah, I'm being a little tricky. It could be 1831, could be 1820, could be 1823, could be 1920, could be
Because
I don't know why, but I'm gonna guess 1820. But honestly, I don't know the answer.
they were legalized. Man, oh man. By England earlier, I think.
I will say that all of these dates do have like interesting whiskey related things associated with them.
Yeah, so that makes it tough.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
1920 was prohibition in America, but that has nothing to do with
1831, I think. Although it could be like England legalized them much earlier, but the UK was formed later, so it could be that kind of trick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So I'm going to go with 1831 for some reason.
Do we have any answers from chat? Anyone daring to?
Yeah. Ian says A. 1823.
Drum roll, and the answer is 1823. The UK authorized distilleries to produce after they paid a fee. If they paid a fee, they could legally produce. The Scottish Parliament had long since allowed it, but the United Kingdom came much later.
Ian, I now bow down to you. I think Ian should be doing the show instead of me. I'm just embarrassed.
With Paul doing like as well. It should be Ian and Paul and not us.
It would be technically way better than
Certainly more informative than the show that we do.
No, you.
Yeah. I want to check in though with Alex. Are you on the Aberlour Habunadh?
Ooh-wee. This might be my favorite whiskey.
The Habunadh is amazing, isn't it? It is amazing.
Yes, it's just intense. There's a lot
It's intense.
Really accosting sensory things going on with this one. But I agree there's like a savory sour edge to it. I'm also getting like a hint of like hot caramel. You know, like if you ever break into a creme brulee and it's too hot and it burns your mouth, but you like it anyway.
Oh, that's very well put. That's exactly how it feels to me.
Yeah.
Oh, Ash says she fucking loves you, Alex.
Oh, they're going to play the fanfare. You can't hear it, but you will later.
Yeah, here. I hope that's fun.
You know what? I think it's fair to say that we all fucking love Alex.
We fucking love Alex.
I just met Alex just as a disembodied voice, and I love him.
You're too sweet. Love you guys.
Also, I fucking love whiskey.
Ah.
Yeah, that Habunadh is so good. So hold up the bottles next to each other so we can see both of them. If you would.
Way into that.
Since we're doing this, we've never done this before. We've done two. I want to see both bottles.
Mhm.
Right. So
Habunadh, and this one's called Habunadh Matata.
Habunadh Matata. I get it now.
I'm sorry, SMWS. You're not hiding the fact that this is Aberlour when you do that. I'm sorry. they put the bottle codes on because they don't want you to know what the story it is. Before
That fucking SMWS, they know what's up. Like they tasted this Aberlour and they're like, Aberlour is great, but this Aberlour is especially good. We're buying this cask, y'all, and we're gonna put it in a bottle. And they know what's up. What are their tasting notes? These bastards.
Well, we're still on the distillery release. So no tasting notes.
Well, I mean, I've tasted both of them, but
because
of your mistake, Andrew.
Oh, hey, the guest is going to stay out of this one, guys.
You should. It's an old feud that will never end.
Cut to the other camera, Paul. We have to have a discussion, Joseph and I. Earmuffs, Paul.
Oh, that's the saddest view ever because all the whiskeys are gone.
Oh no!
Or the happiest view. There we go.
Yeah, all right.
It's just waiting. It's waiting for its final tasting.
It's like stock footage or like a Getty image.
It does seem like Paul's feed is from a different, better whiskey show. Like it's
Except for my little.
Except for the
did
focus.
seem the way. Yeah.
His guest is a lamp.
Oh, I love this,
Oh, this is so good. But you know what?
guys.
It's 6:16. We got to go on to our final whiskey, which is the SMWS one.
Okay, here we go.
So we're
That's
going
sad.
to a cherry cask. We're going to an ex-bourbon cask here. This is a first fill ex-bourbon, 11 years old, Habunadh Matata 5476. And we'll read the notes after.
As you can see now. This is the previous.
Oh, and one other thing about this whiskey, I forgot to mention.
This is this one. What? I didn't catch that. Did you say you fucking love whiskey? Because I fucking
love whiskey. No, I fucking love whiskey as
Yeah,
well.
I heard it. Ooh.
Today's show is brought to you by random.com because all this tasting
I thought it was random.org.
random.org. Yes, you're right. Damn it. I've just lost our sponsorship. Our non-existent sponsor.
Those bastards at random.com. They always steal our business. Just by chance.
Wow. Yeah, lost it. Darn it.
It smells so good. This smells like fresh grass cuttings or like plants or that's what I like. I get like when you cut up green plants outside or broken twigs.
Yeah, there's something that I'm struggling to identify that's unique of the tastings tonight, and I can't place
the
it.
essence of fresh outdoors, like just fresh greenery.
It is very fresh.
Outdoors.
A little bit of decay maybe in there, a little
bit.
decay funk. Yeah, random.com, more like unrandom.com. Go to random.org for your random number generators. Random number generators. Yes, that's what I said.
Like the random number geners.
Oh my goodness.
I can't put a word to what I'm picking up here. It's something I don't think I've smelled
This is
before.
Absolutely my favorite whiskey. Like I love the last one. This one is amazing.
Yes.
And I know that I've kind of been skipping between them, but this one is so good. Wait till you taste it, guys.
Here we go.
Right?
Ooh.
Oh, dear, Paul.
Why it's
goodness.
gotta do me like that?
That's dirty. I feel
Nice.
dirty.
Yeah.
There's a little tingle down my spine. What was that?
Yeah. This
There's a
whiskey
little-
made passionate love to me as I tasted it. Like it went through my soul. It passed through my soul.
Mm-hmm.
There's something green in the nose.
Yes, there is definitely something green. I'm actually getting licorice when I actually go in for the tasting. I actually get just a hit of it, and then the burn comes in. But right before that, I get a little bit of that.
Yes. I get the licorice. I get licorice.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just for a moment for me. Ooh, this is very good.
And then it
This
becomes,
might be my favorite whiskey.
It's my favorite whiskey.
Yeah. As I said, like the Aberlour, the regular is like great, but SMWS, like they knew what they were doing when they grabbed this guy.
There's the umami in there here as well.
Interesting.
Like it's just making my mouth water after I've swallowed it. It's just
Like honestly, I don't want to science either of these whiskeys. They are both so good. I don't want to science
I didn't
them.
science the previous one. I don't want to on this one either.
Well, you know what? We don't have to. We never promised you science on I fucking love whiskey. Check. See if it's written anywhere.
It's not.
Down there, like on the Twitch board? No, it's not there.
No, the only promise that we make is that we fucking love whiskey. That is our only promise.
Well, it's a promise you keep. It's a promise you keep. I've seen you keep it.
We've tried. This stuff is it's amazing. This stuff it's just like they distill it and they just store it in casks and keep it in these like earthen floored warehouses, and it just everything that's going on in that chemical reaction. It makes me crazy. I mean, yes, I've got passion for this because I fucking love whiskey, but the flavors are insane. Like I do not get this from any other liquid on this planet. I do not get this variety.
Yeah, it is so surprising the variety of flavors you get from whiskey.
Yeah. Have either of you gentlemen done like kind of the whiskey trail, so to speak? Have you been around the distilleries in person and such? I mean, there's a map there behind Joseph.
This guy has.
Oh, hey.
Hey, no me.
Now, for you, it'd be
You're over here. You're over here.
Yeah, you're gonna point into your right. You're right, Paul. Yes, now you're pointing at Andrew.
Science rules.
This guy.
Yeah, I've been to Scotland 3 times. I was going to go in 2020, and I still
What
had
happened?
hopes I was going to
Why
go.
didn't I understand? Why didn't you go?
I was going to go in May, and I was sitting there in March, going like, "Oh, we'll be fine. We'll go." It's like, no. And now 2021 is going to go by, and we're not going to go because none of us will have the full vaccine yet. Unless we go in the fall. If you're doing DD and Castle in the fall, I'll figure out some way to get over there. So we're planning our 2022 trip now.
All right.
And it's just wonderful because you get to meet the people that make this.
Right.
I mean, you think it's like, oh, it's just tour guides and stuff. And like, yes, you'll meet a lot of tour guides, but some places you'll just meet the folks that are doing it because they don't get that many visitors because there's little distilleries that aren't known because all they do is feed into Johnny Walker and these blends. I'm going off my rant. I'm sorry. So they love to have visitors because no one's ever heard of these distilleries. No one stops by. So yeah.
I'd say that's definitely on my bucket list.
It was on mine, and 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, whenever it was when we first went, 2017. It was basically that. It was just like, this is my year of doing things because I put this off. I thought about it for like 4 or 5 years. Like, I should go to Scotland. It's like, no, just do it. And it's terrifying to do it. Like you're going to go there and we rented a van and we drove around and we did Airbnb and we went to the distilleries. And then the second year, like we were back at the airport in Glasgow about to fly home. And we just all turned to each other and said, so next year again. And we did 3 years in a row.
Wow. Well, I can see the appeal because I just fucking love whiskey. And
Exactly.
being able to actually meet the families, that are running these places.
Yeah. Yeah. And, on Isla, there are 3,000 people, and most of them are involved in the whiskey business because there's not a lot other to do on Isla but farm. So, yeah.
Wow.
Man, I'm so excited to have these side by side. Now, I wonder if Aberlour puts a little coloring in theirs because
it's so different in its appearance.
I mean, I do not believe they do in this. This is a first fill.
Well, no, I don't think the Habunadh Matata has it, but
no. And this is a sherry butt, so
I guess maybe
I think it's vatted sherry butt, so it's multiple sherry butts put together in one cask. But I don't believe they put color in.
Gentlemen, I have a thought on the finish. It
Yes.
just hit me. It feels like I'm drinking a pina colada. Does anyone get that? It's like
I could get a bit of that coconut in
there's
there.
something very tropical going on at the very end of it.
Wow, nice.
I wouldn't argue it.
Let's see what should we read their tasting notes now and see what they say?
Yes.
We should.
Ivan's a good
Matata.
chat.
Speyside, Spey. The nose is redolent with juicy green fruits, lots of ripe green apples, pears, banana, warm pastries, assorted confectionery sweetness, and wee touches of cough medicine. There's also pine resin, dolly mixtures, and lemon oil. Water diverts the fruitiness in a more tropical direction. Lots of exotic fruit syrups, orange oils, camphor, hessian, top-notch bourbon cocktails, mineral oils, cornbread, and sourdough. The mouth is buttery and delightfully dense and sweet. Fruit salad chews, natural fruit extracts, citrus peels, waxes, tree oil, herbal liqueurs, pine resin, and pastis. Dilution brings notes of toasted seed mix, coconut creme brulee, spiced cider, salted licorice, mead, satsuma, and strawberry scented tobacco.
Oh.
You called it in the fucking coconut. That is
Yeah.
Yeah, and the creme brulee.
Yeah. Well, and the pine resin is definitely what I've been picking up on. That's what I'm getting actually the strongest for me.
Yeah, this does remind me of Oregon, like being in the woods in Oregon.
Yep. Oh, it's
I'm a
very
monster.
good.
I'm gonna science it.
Here we go.
Well, they did kind of almost recommend it,
Yep. It's been it's been allowed.
I'm going to see what Andrew does.
Yeah.
See what he says.
It's too much pressure on me, man. No, don't. Stop. Don't look at me.
You.
Reveal to us your secrets, Andrew.
I get like the fruitiness is knocked down, but I don't get it towards, what do they say? Tropical direction?
They said it got knocked
More
up.
like a cedar chest.
Huh. Do you like it? Should we try it? No. Okay.
That's a good face.
Yeah.
Science
I do it
rules.
entirely based on the
In the-
face
in
that
the
Andrew
palate
makes.
comes
really.
out.
I would try the science just for the nose, honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is.
Huh.
I'm tasting a lot of I fucking love whiskey.
I'm going to science it. I'm going to put the cap back on for a bit and let it accumulate and then nose it. I'm going to try that.
Ooh. Joseph's adding while that happens,
Yes. Our final question.
the evaporation of alcohol while maturing in a whiskey barrel is called A, the angel's share, B, the devil's due, C, breath of life, D, fire mist.
Andrew and I both know the answer to this one for
Who
sure.
came
So
up with the other ansers? Did you pick them out of the hat, or did you?
I just they all apparated in my mind quickly after.
Okay. Well, this one is this is a gimme. Anyone at home, astronaut has put in Puck 90, Lieutenant Bodie Cooper. You wanna guess?
yeah, no, this nose is great. This is great. Use wisely.
Oh, Doctor.
Are you saying the cup of a carpenter? Is that the answer?
Wow. I want to go over to Dr. Destro Fett's house. No whiskey. He's having vodka and grilling shrimp to tacos.
Ooh.
Okay.
I like this with water. C, breath of life.
Mhm.
D, fire
Oh.
mist.
Dr. Destro and
Ooh.
Puck 90 respectively guess C and D. But I think I'm going to disappoint.
Wait. Well, let's do this. Why don't we'll have Paul count to 3 and then you and I can say it at the same time? Because I mean, I know this.
I mean, I think a lot of us know this.
Okay, gentlemen. 3, 2, 1.
The angel's share.
The angel's share.
Yeah. Anybody who's been on the ride, the Scotch malt whiskey experience, then they would know as well.
Yes, astronaut. The ghost taught you as well. Yes.
I do have one more question if you'd like to hear it, but it's fine.
Absolutely, we would. Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Alex needs to answer this one.
Okay, all right, Alex, here we go. Which is true of Glenfiddich whiskey / distillery?
Glenfiddich.
Thank you for the correct pronunciation. Thank you. The trinity of water, air, malted barley inspired the triangular design of their bottle. B, the first distillery to advertise being a single malt. They use slightly, they might have used slightly different language. C, makes its barrels on site. D, all of the above. E, none of the above. There might be a trick in here. There might not be.
Astronaut goes, fuck it, D.
I mean, I would also guess D. I don't know the answer, but that would be my guess.
Here's where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Water, air, and malted barley. One of those things is not a component of whiskey. It should be water, yeast, and malted barley. So A is wrong.
That's a good point. That's a good
A
point.
is wrong.
Yeah.
C, makes its barrels on site. I know that there is a cooperage in Craigellachie that makes a lot of the barrels in that area. I do not think Glenfiddich makes their own. And the first distillery to advertise being a single malt, I feel like that might be Macallan instead. So I'm going to go none of the above.
I'm going to change my answer. Those with what because of Andrew.
Oh, this is such a contentious question. I love this. What does chat say?
And what does Alex say?
A lot of people are going with D. There's two people, Dr. Destro, astronaut, Puck 90 are going with D.
I think that's
and
from the previous one, though.
Bodie Cooper is going with E, and Bodie Cooper has been, I think, right on almost all of these.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I should know more about this than I do. I have a friend who worked for Glenfiddich, and I feel like none of this came up in his presentation. So I'm also going to go with E.
And where your friend is walking along, and just for some reason they're like, I feel betrayed.
Yeah, right? I've either done him well,
Someone-
I've done him justice, or I've done him real dirty.
Someone
and Dr.
close to me
Destro
has
just
failed
changed
me.
his answer to G. I love that.
Yeah, G could also be the answer, but we'll
might be
see.
the
G,
answer.
It might
some
be.
or none of the above.
Yeah. Well, I think that the answer to this is going to have an asterisk next to it because the question preparer might have made a error, an unforced error. The answer given was D, all of the above, because they were the first distillery. They advertised themselves as straight malt or pure malt, which was the precursor to being called a single malt. But they were the first one to do it. And they did not make their own barrels on site, but they began making. They consolidated their what have you, their infrastructure, and started making all of their barrels on site. So I think you are probably correct, Andrew. I'm sure that the water air malted barley, that part is probably incorrect. But the three components that were seen as like the pillars of making it were the inspiration for the design of the triangular shape that the German designer came up with for the bottle.
See, I can
Ash
believe
wants
that.
to know if
And
I have regrets.
I mean, Glenfiddich is just basically around the corner from Craigellachie, so that could have been their cooperage, which then became a cooperage for everyone in Speyside.
Right.
I just want to say I have no regrets. I have a fucking love for whiskey.
So do I.
Slangeva.
Langeva!
Yes, my friend I've deeply betrayed. He has fallen dead in the streets somewhere because I answered the question so incorrectly. But he might have some challenges for that particular outcome, seeing as it was a sort of contested answer.
That was a hotly contested last question.
Oh,
Ooh.
man.
You know what,
Actually,
your
going
friend
back to the Aberlour is nice. The regular, the Habunadh just is very nice. That's what I did.
And I mean, every year I don't know how often they come out with it, but this is batch
So good.
64. There's other batches coming out. You can get on the Habunadh train. Great stuff. They pick really good sherry butts to put in the vatting. It's wonderful stuff.
Ooh.
And it's a very pretty distillery. It's crazy. This little town of Aberlour, and the river Aber comes down, and I think Lour means waterfall. I'm kind of thinking that. So it's the waterfall of the river Aber that the distillery is named after, and you can just take this lovely walk up the path on the other side from the distillery up along the river, and you get to these series of waterfalls. It's just gorgeous. It's wonderful. If
Sounds horrible.
If you can go to Scotland and do this thing, go visit the distilleries. They like to welcome visitors. They know you love their product, and the more knowledgeable you are about the product when you come in, the better they like you, because they know you've done your research, that you fucking love whiskey. And if they think you fucking love whiskey, they're gonna make sure you leave continuing to fucking love whiskey.
Oh, really?
This is the
Well,
thing.
that's so lucky for me because I do fucking love whiskey.
Do you, Paul?
I do.
Tell me again.
Wow. I'm in
didn't
good
know if
shape
I
over
believed
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I feel like if you're going to one of those distilleries, like the internal monologue of everybody who works there is, does this person fucking love whiskey?
Mm-hmm.
Do they?
They're not Irish though.
Yeah, right. But their internal monologue is.
Oh, interesting.
It's a strange cultural phenomenon.
know why.
No one really understands it.
I don't know why.
I keep coming back to the nose on this third one.
The third one, now it's very licoricey and sweet.
Yeah.
It's tremendous.
It's so good.
It's
So
tremendous.
good.
Guys, I'm so thankful for you guys having me on. This has been amazing, and all of these whiskeys have been so delicious.
Paul, thanks for being our guest. We really appreciate it.
It is my honor.
Although I hate to turn this conversation serious at this point in the.
No, Andrew, don't. Why you always do this?
Here we go.
I just need to know. We've had 4 tremendous Scotch whiskeys here today, and Paul, I need to ask you this question. I apologize in advance for asking you this question.
No, it's fine. I
Paul, do you like whiskey?
I don't like whiskey. No, I fucking love whiskey.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Paul, for being our guest. Thank you to Outpost 13 for hosting us. Hey, tomorrow, Trek Table, Alison De La Cruz, or Adela, as we like to call her, is talking about Trek. She's discussing with other people, keeping it open for, I'm going to get it wrong, biopic people, keeping Trek open for people that are not in the white mainstream, that, male dominated mainstream that used to be in Trek. And they're talking about Discovery. And I love that. I love that series, and they're going through it, starting from episode 1. They're, I think, on episode 4, 5, 6, something around there right now, of season 1, which is fantastic. And
so good.
Tune in tomorrow at 4:00. Subscribe to this channel. If you are an Amazon Prime member, you can subscribe for free. Please subscribe to Outpost 13. It's easy peasy, and there's fantastic shows on here like Friend Fiction. You know what, Joseph? I was thinking earlier today. I was like, oh, we're so different from Friend Fiction. And then I thought, you know what? No, they have 2 attractive hosts, 2 women on the show talking about what they love. And I was like, well, no, we have 2 attractive hosts on the show talking about what we love with occasional guests. And there are other hosts, not us 2, but the other hosts.
Right. When we have those other
Paul
hosts.
Show, Paul Show, those 2 attractive hosts.
Nice save, Andrew.
Why is it so hot in here suddenly?
Paul and Alex are very attractive. I yeah.
I grant them
I
that.
can tell from Alex's voice. Oof.
Oh, he's
He's a total smoke show.
Oh no, he's a fucking snack for sure.
What else do I have to say? Aaron Harvey, thank you for our graphics. Cody Bushi, thank you for the bot. Thaddeus, thank you for getting married and being our regular tech. But Alex, thank you for jumping in and stepping in here. And Ian, thank you for stepping in next week. Paul, thank you for being here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stick around. Tales by Fire is on later tonight. It says at 7:30.
I think, was it canceled today? Am I wrong?
Oh, no, was it?
I thought I saw that somewhere, but I might be wrong. Possibly.
It may or may not be. I know, but Tim, he does a single person RPG, and he uses the chat to get suggestions. And our hero Flea, completely generated by randomness. His adventures generated by randomness. Like this Iron Sworn campaign. It's crazy. You could run an RPG as a single person, or you could run an RPG without any preparation as the GM. It's a wonderful game. Please watch it. I freaking
it's
love
not
it.
tonight, but next week it'll be back.
It's next week back. Okay. I can't always watch live, but I always watch it in reruns, and I am totally on board with Flea's freaking dilemma. Our hero. The guy who is supposed to be this battling guy, and all he can do is like, only when he tries to use his wits does he survive. Freaking awesome. So good. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tim. And Tim actually made a pitch to be on our show, so I'm going to send him the doodle. Because, I think he loves whiskey. Pretty sure. Kind of sure.
Well, if someone fucking loves whiskey, they're in the right place.
We'll find out. Paul.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey,
Alex,
thank you, guys.
Joseph, thank you. Andrew.
Oh, thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Seriously. I appreciate all of this. It makes my week.
Well, you know what? If there's no Tales by Fire, we don't have to go.
Yeah, I could just be sniffing this all night. It's really no problem.
I can sit in this Aberlour. Wait.